What is going on, YouTube? It is all things Mets here with your latest Mets media. Everything you know about the Mets on this channel. Definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, subscribe, guys. The Mets ended up getting a big win for the New York Mets, guys. The Mets have split the series with the Miami Marlins. Now, this was a series that the Mets needed. They needed this series, and they finally, were able to split the series against the Miami Marlins. And the Miami Marlins are just pesky, man. The Miami Marlins are just too pesky. And when it comes to the Miami Marlins, it just seems like the Mets, that's their kryptonite. I don't know what's going on with the New York Mets, but when it comes down to the Miami Marlins, that's their kryptonite for some reason, man. What's going on, Lane? What is going on, Lane? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you doing? How do you feel about the Mets right now? I feel good about the Mets. I feel like the Mets, with this bullpen of Jose Budo, Daniel Nunez and Diaz. I like the combination of Budo. I like the combination of Nunez, and also I like the combination of Diaz. So I think that the Mets bullpen, has been very shaky. But when it comes down to Budo and Nunez and Diaz, you have a little bit more trust in these guys, and that is something that the Mets haven't had in some time. So, man, how do we feel about Jeff McNeil, man? Because Jeff McNeil has really, exploded. He's really been hitting lately. I'm saying, what is the news on Kodai Senga and Mauricio and Marte? Kodai Senga should be back soon. Definitely, I think it's gonna be Friday that he's gonna be back with the Mets, and he's gonna start against the Braves. Mauricio, Mauricio's taking a little longer. I think he's probably not gonna start the season until 2025 with the New York Mets, and yeah. So I think look to see Mauricio either late September or in 2025. And Marte, he's been hitting off a tee. He is looking better at the plate, but they don't have a timeline for him just yet. But yeah, guys, definitely I would say that Jeff McNeil, man, he's really just he's turned into a different type of hitter. He finally realized that he can't be the slap hitter that he was before, and he's trying to just get the barrel on the ball. And when he gets the barrel on the ball, you see what he did today. He got a home run. He blasted that ball to right field. I just personally think that Jeff McNeil, if he gets hot, that is going to be good for the New York Mets. So yeah, guys, when it comes down to a guy like Jeff McNeil, let me see. Stop sharing. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the Mets. I feel like, with this team, I really like their offense. I know their offense has not shown up yet, definitely not in this series. They didn't really show up. They hit the ball hard, but nothing really happened. But when it comes down to the New York Mets, I feel like, there's some hope in this team. There's something in this team. And are they a playoff team? I'm not gonna go that far and say they are a playoff team, but I feel personally they are doing what they can to get wins. With the guys that they have. A guy like there's still a lot to figure out with this team, but definitely you saw what the Mets did in June. You saw the type of run that they went on. They were literally the best offensive team in the MLB for that month. So I think this team has potential to be really good, but they got to click at the right time. And it seems like they're not clicking right now perfectly, but with Jeff McNeil getting hot, that is something really, really big for the New York Mets. We play the Yankees on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Yes, the New York Mets play the Yankees. And I personally feel that this is good for the New York Mets. I think this is good. You get some energy. The Mets, I feel like they've been lacking some energy in this series with the Miami Marlins. So when it comes down to this situation with the New York Yankees, the New York Yankees won a really good game today against the Tampa Bay Rays. I actually was there. I went to the game, and they got the win. But when the Yankees, they haven't really been on point. But the Mets are going to be facing Luis Gil and Garrett Cole. And Garrett Cole and Luis Gil have been on point lately. So when it comes down to the New York Yankees, you saw what they did to the Yankees, when we were in Citi Field. But now the Mets are going to be moving on to Yankee Stadium. And apparently they're going to be coming in a late flight. So are they going to be tired? I don't know. Is that going to affect the New York Mets? I don't know. But when it comes down to the New York Mets, they got to win games. They got to keep winning games. They got to stay in the race. So are they going to stay in the race? Are they going to keep up that energy? I don't exactly know. But we will see at the end of the day what the Mets do. I feel with Senga coming back on possibly, I believe it's Friday, to face the Braves, that is going to be a huge series for the New York Mets, a 4-game series for the New York Mets. That is going to be a big, big series for the New York Mets to pick up some advantage, in the wild card, because when it comes down to the Mets have a good team. They have a good team. They just haven't been able, to click, especially in the month of July. But I like the offense. Vientos is a killer. Alvarez has been struggling. JD Martinez has been struggling, but it seems like he's trying to find it. Alonso is a story. I don't know what's going on with this guy, Alonso. He's just not that clutch, and he hasn't really been carrying the team like he's supposed to. Alonso's supposed to be a guy that carries your team, and he's not doing it. And then you got a guy like Lindor. Lindor, ever since he's moved into the leadoff spot, he has performed. He's been doing a great, great job offensively, defensively. This guy Lindor is really carrying the Mets. And Nimmo did not have a good series in the Miami Marlins series, but maybe he can pick it up in the Yankee Stadium series. I don't know. But what I will say about the Yankee Stadium series is we know that the Yankee Stadium is small, so maybe the Mets can take advantage of that right field porch. I don't know. I personally feel with the New York Mets, these are big, big games that you got to win. You got to win at least either 2 of these games or 1. You got to win. You got to win against the Yankees. You can't lose against the Yankees. And the Mets swept the series, last time in Citi Field. But this is going to be a different Garrett Cole. This is going to be a different Luis Gil. So we will see what the Mets do, but they got to come with the energy. They got to come with that passion. That is something that the Mets desperately need. So, yeah. But when it comes down to the New York Mets against the Marlins game, guys, Jeff McNeil really showed up in this game. He got a 2-run homer, in the first game. In the second inning, a 2-run bomb. And that was good to see because Jeff McNeil, like I said, ever since he's made the change to just get the barrel on the ball, he's been hitting, so that is good news for the New York Mets because we need the Mets to win. We need Jeff McNeil to get going because he's been in limbo all season. He hasn't really done much. So when it comes down to Jeff McNeil, if he gets hot at the right time, that is going to be good for the New York Mets. Now, Jeff McNeil is definitely a guy that, I'm not particularly fond of. He definitely, I don't like his attitude at times. And the way he was trying to hit the ball every single time, trying to be a slap hitter, it just wasn't working out. So he had to change something. And he finally did. And now he's getting the barrel to the ball, and now he's hitting the ball. So that was good. The Mets took the lead 2-0. And then in the bottom of the second inning, guys, Brujan, Vidal Brujan hits a double, but it looks like a foul ball. And for some reason, the Mets did not challenge this. And the Miami Marlins ended up getting another one run. So it was a 2-1 game, and then the top of the fourth inning, guys, Jeff McNeil, after a Jose Iglesias triple, Jeff McNeil hits a sac fly, and he just puts the barrel to the ball, and that's a sac fly. That works in baseball. So I like the Jeff McNeil that gets the barrel to the ball. This guy, Jeff McNeil, I'm not saying he's a good hitter, but he was a good hitter before. So there has to be something there. There has to be something there. And then obviously in that inning as well, Harrison Bader tries to steal the base, and he gets called, and he's out. But then Francisco Lindor hits a bomb, so that makes the game 4-1. So the Mets are looking good right now. David Peterson is pitching good. I would say David Peterson is 5-0 now with the New York Mets. That is an accomplishment. With this team, the New York Mets, they haven't lost 8 of his last starts. Ever since he's came back, he's been a spark plug, pitching wise for this team. So great for the Mets. I'm happy that the Mets are, have David Peterson pitching good, because this is a guy that has always struggled, to find it, to be consistent. And this is a guy that needs to be consistent. He has to be consistent. So, we'll see at the end of the day what the Mets do with David Peterson, but I really like the way he's been pitching. And then, let me see here. In the fifth inning, guys, Jose Iglesias, bases loaded. He gets hit by a pitch, and the Mets score another run. So we have a 5-1 game, and then you got Josh Bell, the bottom of the fifth, going against Jose Budo, and he hits a bomb to a left field, and that's a home run. So makes the game 5-2. And then in the bottom of the seventh, Brian De La Cruz hits a bomb and makes the game 3-5. So I think when it comes down to Josh Bell hit a home run against David Peterson, and then Brian De La Cruz hit a home run against Jose Budo. So the game was 5-3 at that point. And then Francisco Lindor in the top of the ninth inning, guys, hits another home run, guys. His 19th home run. He's tied with Alonso. He's tied with Pete Alonso for the home run lead in the New York Mets. That is sad for Alonso. Alonso's just been sad this season. He hasn't been good. He hasn't been clutch. Man, with Alonso, it's been a real struggle to watch. And then in the bottom of the ninth, guys, the Miami Marlins got some ducks on the pond. And, it was a ground ball to Jeff McNeil. He makes a nice play, gets the second out. Okay, the Miami Marlins get a run. But when it comes down to Edwin Diaz, he seals the save, guys. So the Mets end up winning 6-4. And this was a good win for the Mets, honestly. Splitting the series with the Miami Marlins is not something you want to do. You never want to split the series with one of the worst teams in baseball. You know what I'm saying? So it sucked to see that the Mets, that they split the series with the Miami Marlins. But, at the end of the day, it's baseball. Baseball's not an easy game. Yes, there could be the worst team in baseball going against the best team in baseball and still beat them. Because it's baseball. Baseball's a hard game to play. Listen, the Miami Marlins are pesky. We know this. We know they're pesky. So at this point, the Mets got to win games, guys. The Mets have to win games. They got a series against the Yankees coming up, tomorrow. So they're going to get a late flight, So I personally feel that this is a series that maybe you will see the first game that the Mets come a little flat. I don't know, but I hope not, because they got to win these games. You know, you're going against Luis Gil in the first game. Luis Gil had a really, really good start against the Baltimore Orioles in his last start. But then the Mets killed him. You know what I'm saying? When they faced him in Citi Field. So we'll see what the Mets and the Yankees, how they play out, you know, how the Subway Series, the second part of the Subway Series, how does it play out? But yeah, man, you know, that's going to be the stream, guys. It's going to be a quick stream. Just wanted to give you guys a recap, you know, about what's going on with the New York Mets. And we will see what happens. So we got Senga coming back Friday, you know, hopefully against the Braves. That seems to be scheduled. So we will see. I think there's hope for this team. You want this team to be in a better position, and we'll see what happens. I personally feel I like this team. I like what this team has. Is this team a playoff team? You know, it's tough to say. It's really tough to say. I don't know. I think it's too, I'm not going to say it's too early to say, but from what you've seen with the bullpen struggles, with the offensive struggles at times, I don't know what this team really is. You know, so at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. I hopefully the Mets win the game tomorrow. We'll see. But man, I appreciate you guys for watching, man. You guys are awesome. And yeah, man, have a great night. Stay blessed. LFGM, you know, for life always. And yeah, man, I'm out of here.